Something like that anyway. Is everybody hearing me all right? The vid is lagging. I think that's an issue I'm having just consistently with StreamYard, which is a little bit annoying. As long as it sounds okay, you don't have to look at me, you can just listen live. That's the whole point, right? Let me see if there's some settings I can get to in here. I am using my... what's going on here? No. Camera resolution. We want good resolution. Yeah, I don't know why that is doing that, but hey, it's happening, so I apologize about that. Hopefully it's not too, I am a robot talking to you, I have replaced Leon. What's everyone doing? It's Saturday, it's now Saturday afternoon here in sunny Perth. I'm just trying to, I haven't really played this guitar in drop C yet, so I knocked it down just before I did this. Allow me to adjust the tuning. But it sounded pretty good. Sounded pretty good. Yep, definitely got the Kung Fu movie vibe, all the 60s Godzilla vibes. Hey, as long as the tone's good. What's everybody playing this evening, this afternoon? Seems the vid and audio are in sync now. Well, there you go. I did absolutely nothing, but I feel like maybe everyone's collective energy just pulled together to make that happen. Something like that. Like the Spirit Bomb in Dragon Ball Z, right? For anyone super interested in what I'm doing as well, let me see. Can I do this? No. Let's see. Ah, yeah, of course I can. Of course I can. Let's do Axe Edit. That's what I want to open. Here we go. So for anyone curious for what I'm using at the moment, hopefully you can see this. This is actually my FM9 preset that I've been mucking around with. Just pulled over to the 3 using the stealth because it sounds. Sounds very good. Kind of got that pseudo Gojira thing going on. Usual cab, usual bit of multi-band. Not doing much. Could probably live without it. Oh man, that's fun. Gold plate, pitch detune, usual song and dance for the lead, just bit of multi-tap. I've been playing around actually with, normally, say we were doing the song I was just playing, Rewind Your Mind, the kind of tapping in the tempo, basically playing around with different delay values, but that's a dotted eighth note and a chord note, so if I went and I tapped it in at like 50 something, I'd get I mean, that's a lot, right? At the sort of at tempo, it's still a lot. It just kind of fades out a lot quicker because the delays are faster. So anyway, for anyone interested with what's going on there is a scene on here. I'll play you guys a song that uses this really big plex delay thing that I kind of ripped off the Eventide Eclipse into a trem for... chopped up ambient reverb thing. That's for the bridge in a song called The Last Time. And then, why don't I have this set as an override on here? Basically, this is just doing the freak out style thing on there. So, yeah, it's good times. Lightning Drake. I'm going to add some... Let's stop sharing this. What's your George Lynch short all the time? Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about the Dream Warriors. Whoa. That whole thing. That's right. So I appreciate that because George is the best. Love you. IntelliVerb videos taught me a few extra things on the Faith chorus layers. Fantastic. I've got mine in my little, I don't know if you can see it right there if I disable this comment. Yep, there it is. Underneath the two Roland units, I've got my IntelliFX ready to unleash. The 8-voice chorus on there, man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially if you get it dialed in. Sort of, there's not a lot of other units from that era that do a similar thing. I have a Korg DL8000R that I've got a video coming with, which can do a similar thing and also sounds pretty awesome. And then, like the Yamaha UD, was it the UD Stomp? The one that does the delays, all the Holdsworth stuff. Pretty fun. Josh Kraft, what is up? All the way from San Francisco, been using a Ragdoll preset for my FM9. That's super cool, man. I don't know if I've put up this one with the 5153, but same preset, you just drop the 5153 in. I'm going to use the Club Cabaret bundle tomorrow. Yep, 800 mod is great. Like, it really, really, really hits hard. For all the boutique Marshall clones, just the modded 800 always works well. The Triaxis modeled in the Fractal, I think it's the TX4 non-fat mod, so sort of the desirable one. I know Cliff has a couple of Triaxes or Triaxi, however you say that. And Michael Torin is here. How's the new bass rig working for you, mate? I actually have one of my students is coming to the States in June or something, so I thought it might be fun to connect you guys. I think they're coming through LA at some point, so yeah, if you want to blow someone's mind with the rack thing and you don't mind me putting you guys in touch, let me know. But I was thinking about you the other day. When did they come? Thursday wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was Friday. When they were here on Thursday, I thought of that. So I think of Michael Torin every day. Who doesn't? If you think of Michael Torin, let us know in the chat. I'm going to play another Ragdoll song with this undulator thing going on. This one is called The Last Time, and I need to find it. Yes. Here we go. So this one's pretty fun. I'll cue it up and I'll mute my mic and we'll hit it. played that song, that was a bit messy at the end. The solo on that is, playing that live is probably the most terrifying and the most fun solo to play live. Forget that it's very much an outline of a solo, like do the tremolo pick. I guess like what is that, C Phrygian dominant, and then there's a whole just pentatonic mayhem section. Do whatever you want. Major third. Back into that major third there. So that's pretty fun. Pretty fun. And that's your standard, Ingve style sixes thing. Yeah. So that's fun. Very fun. People talking about the old pod around here with some IRs. Where are we at? I've missed a few comments. Where are we? What wire is that? Are you using a real wire, the Fractal's expression pedal? I'm using the Fractal again, so I'll show you the settings. I think we want this one. Is Zach set it? Yep, cool. So in the wire block, just the Crybaby, I've just dipped this guy, the maximum frequency. So you can kind of hear when I'm close to toe down, it's not super bitey. I think the default for the Crybaby is probably, well, 2100, so you get... Yeah, it gets pretty spicy up there. It's got that vocal thing going on there. I really like that. So yeah, just dip your maximum frequency. What else have I tweaked on there? The overall... Oh, there's a few differences. Yeah, the drive I've changed and the overall level. Because I'm using it with a dirty sound. I want it to give me a little bit of a boost on there. So yeah, that's how you do the wah. Me like a spicy meatball. Me too. Do your cats ever mark your amps? These cats don't. They are very well trained. They were like that when we adopted them, which I'm very grateful for. But our old cat was kind of notorious. I think he'd had a bit of a run as a neighborhood tomcat before he got to sex. So yeah, every now and then you just find some extra aromas on your speaker cabs or something like that. So paid by the note. Yeah. Hey, that's the goal, right? That's the goal of the Bitcoin pedal, right? You just, all the notes equals more money. Did I miss any sick pinch harmonics? You certainly didn't. But hey, I can just... keep the comp always on? That's a pretty good question, Wiz. Let's answer this question. And, you know, again, it's sort of, I think it's 50% I like the way it sounds, 50% habit. It looks like it's still on for the lead stuff, yeah, so... Like, it really doesn't need to be on for this, does it? Yeah, it's doing so little. It's so focused in that one specific task that, yeah, I guess it doesn't need to be there for the lead stuff. And for the rhythm stuff, it's really just... Like, it does make it sound a bit skinnier and leaner than on its own, which on its own isn't as fun to play. Like, it's way more fun sitting here going... But live, that is kind of nice. It just leaves room for that other instrument with strings, the bass, which is all important. And Ryan plays a Sans amp with a bit of grit, and he's kind of always has. I remember the first year we did the States, he bought one and was like, this is my rig, a bass and a Sans amp. I'm going to go direct. And I was like, you can't do that. That's illegal. And how the tide has turned. I got with the program. It only took me a few years. So this is a good question. There was something about do I use a solid state power amp or a true power amp live? I don't use a power amp live. I just go straight into the board. Automatically flip the video upside down for users who upload from Australia. Hey, how many people would love to see that? You'd be seeing all my faces upside down. So, what was the... Jim Simmons has a good suggestion. Look, and this is a thing, it's a very non-controversial opinion. If you're used to playing an amp through a cabinet and you want to get into a modeler, get a power amp with your same cabinet and your modeler. You'd probably be really happy to start out with, and you can transition to the full, you know, direct experience. I have gone the other way, where I've been doing this so long and become so lazy. I really like the way FRFR sounds now. I know that it's relatively what's going to be coming out the front, so I like that consistency, but you know, playing a cab is also super fun. I mean, that's why I've got a cab right there for when I want to deafen myself. So yeah, totally however you want to roll it. How do I feel about ESP guitars? I've never owned one, if you can believe it. I was actually chatting to a friend last night. We were just talking about super strats out of all things. I kind of like the way the Horizons look, but I also kind of, when you put them next to like a Jackson or a Hamer Californian, they look a bit off. But yeah, there's some great ESPs. You know, I'd love to get one of the thick Eclipses. I think they look really cool. Not a huge fan of the way the Vipers look. Like the offset SG is not my thing. I get that it's, unless you like Max Cavalera, in which case it looks pretty cool. And what was the guitar? I remember as a kid, as a teenager, the local music store had one of the LTD Forests, and I thought that was just the ugliest guitar I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, if I was going to get an ESP, I'd get a George Lynch Kamikaze, or I'd get a George Lynch, you know, skull and bones kind of thing. So yeah, I think if it's good enough for George, it's good enough for everybody else, right? So where are we at? Just came back from a Vulfpeck show. Oh, how was it? Corey's, yeah, look, am I gonna try? Am I even gonna bother? It's so like, he almost doesn't need an amp. I don't have an amp in the signal chain here. This is a Rockman style patch I'd set up. Listen to that. We're straight into but yeah, you can definitely do something. funk stuff with it as well. It's so compressed. It's so fun. Have an 80s Horizon funk guitar. What are we talking about? Chad, this is the comment of the day. This is hilarious. Dave needs to come out with a set of tube-powered in-ear monitors. You know people would buy them as well. That would be a great... they should do that as an April Fool's thing next year. I like that idea a lot. That's the tone, yeah. I mean, this is just... You know, it's so funny to me that, you know, one of the most desirable Stratty sounds is just a Strat straight into the console. It's the Nile Rodgers thing, right? Like, you know, you just plug it in somewhere and it sounds clean, it sounds funky, and it's all about the playing, you know, rather than worrying about all the other stuff we often worry about. I mean, distorted guitar sounds are a different thing. You know, we're very particular. For Alex Lashton tones, would you go EMGs or lay sensors? I think you can get there with either, to be honest. Look, while we're talking cheese, let me bring up my time stand still patch if I still have it on here. I may not. I do. Of course I do. So, look, I'll show people the kind of trick to this sound because I love it so much. Let's present this. This is what I want. I'm getting there with this program, Axe Edit. So, Clean 2 on the Rockman headphone amp. If you run pink noise through it, it just looks like a Tilt EQ. So Tilt EQ at 1600 Hertz. Boatloads of compression on here, even though it's not really boatloads. Ratios at 4, pretty standard stuff. This is just a Japan CE2 with the rate really low and the depth up high. Bit of pitch detune on there, a little bit of delay. Probably don't need that much delay. And then I'm pretty sure these settings are all from Alex's block library that he shared on the Fractal Gift of Tones. So, you know, in the wrong tuning, but... It's also totally... I'm going to park this and I'm going to grab a Strat with EMGs and a Strat with lay sensors, and we can just hear if there's any real discernible difference going on. Great. Okay, let's do this. What do we have? Let's go EMGs first, because I love this guitar. And actually, she did a few gigs with it last year and it was pretty rad, so let's do it. That's close enough. So this is the neck and middle. Oh man, I am out of tune. How disappointing. I tuned it last week. What happened? So for anyone wondering, this is actually a guitar my dad made and I butchered as a teenager because, of course, I wanted something with EMGs because Gilmour and Lukather and, you know, all those guys, they can't be wrong. And then sat around for years and I'm kind of back into it, so... Okay, so... So it's pretty present, but it's not like spiky, it's... doing? Trying to play Shape of Your Heart. I'll get there. Okay, so that's EMGs doing their thing. sounding like EMGs, which for this is awesome. The way I would describe that sound is, yeah, bright but not spiky. And then Lace Sensors is a Buddy Guy Strat with, I don't think the tone control's connected on this, so it's going to be pretty spice. This is a great guitar. Love the neck on this thing. Okay, where are we at? Okay, let's hear the bridge and middle. Like, that's a bit spikier and brighter. Listen to that. I believe they are golds, yeah. Have a listen to that. What's the... Name this one for anyone out there who's a Whitesnake fan. It's not a Whitesnake song though, but it is Coverdale. That's the bridge and middle. Take me for a little while, Josh Crawford has it. Well done, well done. Coverdale and Page, killer album. I'm pretty sure they are golds, but they're super, yeah, they're gold. They're very, very worn out on there. But yeah, they're golds, so there you go. What a great sound. Now we're talking. I was looking up these Auroras recently. I think when the Godin model came out, right? Nick Granville is here. Go and subscribe to Nick's channel as well. Amazing player, and I'm digging the pod, Nick. And where were you? Were you at a little festival or something recently? I saw some video the other day. I'm trying to remember how does Shape of My Heart go, because that's a great 80s clean chorus thing to play. That's right. That's what I'm missing. Something. That's right, there's this. That's what I'm looking for. So there's a. And then you have the little hook, the. Love that. Just on the neck, that's killer. Whoa, that's not it. So good. Great guitar. This is super good for the Thai Tabor thing as well. Let me see, where's my, again, you got an Alex Lifeson style preset. Cool, so this is, let's do this. Could do with a boost. There we go. Or for in good fun. All in good fun. There you go. All your 80s hits. Yeah, hey, basically get a guitar that you like the way it plays, and then, you know, get the thing, see if you can find some used EMGs or lay sensors, and get the one that's cheapest, and then just roll with it. You've made your decision in there. So I actually don't know any Triumph. I should really correct that absolute abomination in my repertoire. How hard is it to learn diminished chords? Shall we learn some right now? So if you're familiar with intervals, you know that making for example, a major triad, you would choose a note, go up a major third, and then go up a minor third from there. So it's a major third plus a minor third. For a minor chord, go up a minor third, and then a major third from there. So the opposite stack. If you stack 2 major thirds, you have an augmented triad, and if you stack 2 minor thirds, you have a diminished triad. Right? If you take that one step further and you stack 3 minor thirds, you have a diminished 7th. Not a triad, it's a diminished 7th chord. There's 4 notes in it, and it's symmetric. So if you know the pattern, for example, then you can just move it up and down 3 frets and you've got it. So here's how I remember it. If I want to play a diminished 7th, play a D chord, that shape in standard tuning, right? And then you just move it down a set of strings, but then add your pinky. And there you go. That's a diminished 7th, and you're gonna... And you may ask, where is the root note in this chord? Technically, it's all of them, because it's symmetric. So E diminished 7th is equivalent to G diminished 7th, which is equivalent to B flat diminished 7th, which is equivalent to D flat diminished 7th, which is equivalent there. So really, there's only, what do we have? They're all the same, or they're equivalent, I should say. There's only 3 unique diminished 7th chords. Well done, you've learnt diminished 7th chords. Never play them in your life, just learn the shape, which lets you play them as a sweep. And then you can sound like Yngwie, and happy days. So yeah, play diminished 7th chords as arpeggios and have a grand old time. So there you go, a quick lesson on the diminished thing. Someone just ate some cashews, so I hope you're not allergic in there. Remember the polka dot buddy guy one, is that the same but 2-tone? Yeah, it's just like a great kind of 50s style strat on there. You can see his headstock on there. I don't know how long you see his signature on the headstock. I really like that. It's not a V-neck. It's got that kind of like boat shape about it, which is really cool. That's pretty rad. I dig this guitar a lot. I should play it more. I did a bunch of gigs with this last year, actually. Kind of like laid back trio gigs, and it was super fun. I think I want to change this bridge, or at least the saddles, because if you kind of have a look on there, you know, these are poking out, which is a little bit uncomfortable. It's the one thing I don't like. Where's the guitar sound gone? Hey, there we go, we're back. Black Crowes Waiting Wanting. That is a great guitar hook. Do I know how to play it? Absolutely not. I've never sat down and learnt any Crow stuff, which I should, because I really, really like Audley Freed in particular. He's a killer player, and the first Cry of Love album is god tier Stratisms. And this thing sounds heavy after playing that. Top 5 just guitar gigs I've ever seen is Buddy Guy. Man, he was good. He did this whole... He played Voodoo Child, but sort of turned it into like a history lesson of the blues. Talked about just everything in his career and Hendrix, and so entertaining. And his the guy playing guitar with him, who I forget his name, he had one of those straps that lets you spin the guitar around like from here. So yeah, he was amazing. Great band leader, obviously great player, and saw him at Blues and Roots 10 plus years ago. He was phenomenal. Fender Squier Strat with Fender Vintage Noises pickups. I've not changed them since I had them installed. Those they're really good. There's so much you can do on a Strat by manipulating the tone control. And Alan's here. What's up, man? I hope you're well. Catching some vibes. We want to hear Follow the Leader, do we? Let's do that. Silver Jubilee. Before I do this, can you believe I have never played one? Really want to get one on the channel to do it. That's maybe a bit of a goal for later in the year. But a friend has the Slash Signature Marshall, which I think is just straight up 1-for-1 Silver Jubilee, and that was phenomenal. Like, great sounding amp. If you can find one, do it. And we're gonna do something with a bit of distorted bass on it. So if you like this, go and check out some band called Ragdoll, and you might enjoy this. Let's do it. That's a lot of fun to play. That's probably my favorite. That's my favorite pre-chorus ever. I love that there. That is so fun. So fun. So fun. Cygnus X3, I'm using it at the moment. Yeah. I did a video last week just kind of bashing through a couple of the amps on it. I think it sounds pretty rad. I don't know if I can be bothered rolling back and reamping a bunch of stuff, you know. I'll let other people do that. I'm just kind of happy playing it at the moment. So, sounds great. Did somebody say a bit live in color? You got it, man. And one of the best gigs I ever played in my life was in France, in Hayes, I believe, in the south. We played a festival there at twilight, did a full hour-long set. The crowd were amazing. The sound was amazing. I'll forever remember that one. That was so good. Chad Hudson, dude, the seamless changes thing is pretty amazing. I used the FM9 for the runner shows I did in New Zealand with the cabaret band, and it was so handy having to go from, you know, spring reverb, trem, clean to full-on crunch, and having it all just go like that seamlessly was pretty amazing. I definitely appreciated that out of there. And I'm just catching up on the chat. So here a bit of tight, dude. 100%. That was the vibe. It's like I want this to have some Out of the Silent Planet and Gretchen vibes. So, you know, the kind of verse and chorus is drop C chungus. That kind of thing. And yeah, Dogman goes up to E minor. This kind of goes, it modulates parallel to G minor. And the fact that the first two are swung and the last one's straight, the straight one in there, just, one of my favorite things ever, coming out of the solo. Very fun, very much the way I like to play guitar. Let's see. Thank you for your kind words about the venue played in France. Too bad I'm just going to live in the northeast. I mean, I forget France is a gigantic country as well. The south really reminds me of Perth. Mediterranean climate and all. It's kind of crazy. Roger, I hope you're well, mate. Looking forward to catching up when you're here in May, mate. So take it easy. Let's see. Something about a load box over here. Question. Load box and IR into your interface. Use some kind of preamp or channel strip. I normally actually just go load box into the Axe effects and use the Axe effects for the IR loading. And if you've got the cab block in the Axe, you can add some channel strip emulation there. I normally do that in post. So I'll use FabFilter Satin or something like that if I want some saturation, which is an amazing plugin. So yeah, that's the way I do it. But you can definitely do that. Do it in the cab block, or if you've got a PreSonus or a Universal Audio Apollo, you can do it in there with a Unison thing, which is great. Vintage racks you'll be reviewing. Yes, DL8000 is coming at some point next week, I think. And then I've got a rack chorus shootout, which is coming also next week, I believe. I forget when I schedule these things. So yeah, there's definitely some more. And got a few other videos for rack builds and things like that. There's always going to be rack stuff on here. Korg A1 I got my hands on recently, and an old Alesis Q20. So there's going to be some fun stuff. Yeah, man, Kim Thale, like, no one writes riffs like that. He's got his own internal clock going on. It's so out there. His more recent band is really good as well. Yeah, I mean, look, the ancient rack stuff sometimes sounds really good, but also I think my advice most of the time is like, just don't buy it. It's more trouble than it's worth a lot of the time. Like if you've got a Fractal, you can do all that stuff. It's just a case of taking the time to dial it in which case I'll take the time to dial it in. You can get my blocks library and then you can just crank them in there. There you go. Haggis 5115 is from a particular... I don't know. Has anyone else heard of this Champagne region? Oh, Nick, on the way to the gig. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, because it's probably 6 o'clock there, right? So, gig time. I was talking about diminished chords earlier. I'll play you guys another Ragdoll song that has a little diminished seventh. Third Secret, that's the name of the band. Very, very good. 2 lead singers, Kim's riffage, and all those kind of things. So I'm going to play you guys Rust, just for the solo. But actually secretly, just because I like playing the rhythm parts in there. Let's do it.
Yourself, someone else, selling out your own
That's a whole lot of fun to play. There you go. Really nice chorus. Yeah, I like that. The idea was going from, especially with the rhythm, because it's got that. It's got that Children of the Grave thing going on, and then moving into some chords. And then just flat 5 chord, but with the root note on the top. One of my recent videos, you sped up one of your riffs for the intro. Actually wasn't, it was a different song, but so playing God Goes. And then what I was playing was this song, Letting Go, which, you know, it's the same key, it's just a lot faster. This one. Yeah, the breakdown in this song is one of my favorites. So yeah, it's, I mean, if that had a big over it, it'd sound like a Gojira song or something like that. It's playing sixths. Man, I hate saying that word. Inverted thirds. That's a lot easier to say. And Alan, I'm very, very humbled. I'm glad you're all enjoying this Friday. Saturday for me, of course. Here we go. We've got someone from Germany. You're picking stuff, but it still sounds so nice. Makes me learn. Thanks for Mark for neural amp modeler. Yeah, that capture came out really good. I'm really, really happy with it. With the picking thing, I mean, is it soft? I don't know. It's I'm pretty relaxed doing all this kind of stuff. I've spent a lot of time trying to get this to not be like too much exertion, you know? So like what's important is really how much pick you give the string. And I mean, there's no she doesn't make that much of a difference, you know. You can totally He-Man it, but I think eventually you just, it's like 80% more exertion, 8% more intensity. So yeah, it's like law of diminishing returns on that. So especially for thrash stuff, the John Cordy of Australia, I'm not worthy of that. I don't think I can play anywhere near like what that guy's doing. Yeah, man, Cordy's legato stuff is just mind-bendingly great. Hey, I've watched a lot of his stuff and try to pick up some, you know, I think I'm doing good. I'm like, and then the way he can improvise with that on top is like, yeah, you're not just playing sequences. You're just kind of, you've got that technique so ingrained. So yeah, go and subscribe to his channel because he's fucking phenomenal. Yeah, off the hook is a way to say it. Absolutely. The lighter the touch, the faster you can pick. Yeah, it's very much a, I was just playing the song Letting Go, right? You know, it's actually about, once you get to a certain speed, the feeling I get anyway is it would be, you know, when you're riding a bike, and if you're riding the bike slowly, you've got to like really have your hands on the handlebar and stabilize it. That's what you're doing when you're playing slow. But when the bike is going really fast, you can take your hands off and it just keeps going in a straight line, right? All that really matters there is that your cores, you're not like leaning side to side or anything. So that's the analogy I'd use for picking, where if you're doing this, there's like a point where it actually feels like, oh, you know what? I'm actually just I'm gonna take my hands off the handlebars and relax. Something like that. Do I use new old stock preamp tubes? I would have no idea, man. I haven't changed the tubes in my amps for quite a long time. They don't get played as much now as they used to. So, and what is up, Guitar Man 45? Where are you tuning in from? Mind over matter. Exactly, Alan. It is all about getting to the point of proficiency where you're communicating from here to the note as directly as possible, taking out as much from there. Dante, yeah, Dante's amazing, isn't he? And I really, really like the sounds he's pulling. So Steve knows how to find him, of all people, which I think is pretty cool. You know, he could just be up there being, I'm Steve I, the guitar god. No one can touch me, but he's sort of bringing in great talent all the time. So yeah, I mean, just to be able to keep up with that rep would be, that speaks volumes to how darn good he is. So, alrighty. If anyone has any last questions while we're here, let me know. And also, if you want to get good at playing metal, just learn all of Rust in Peace, because Dave's the best. How often do you give some love to those single cut LPs hanging around in the background? Well, they're there for a reason, because I have been playing them. I want to do a video about pickups and Les Pauls and a few other things. Actually, while we're here, let's just bring this beast out. Try not to drop it, because it's heavy. For all the 70s Gibson fans in here, this is this is pretty interesting, right? 3-piece top, pancake body, Les Paul Deluxe. I think it's either a 74 or a 75. It's a 6-digit serial number, so it kind of puts it in that whole era, maybe a little bit earlier. Mini humbuckers, the whole pie and sauce. It sounds interesting. Pretty rad, with a Marshall style thing. Wow, I am not worthy, mate. Ian Thornley is on another level. Obviously Big Wreck are incredible, but I really like the Thornley albums they did. There's some interesting tunings on that album, like Come Again and So Far So Good. Those two songs, which were the kind of the big singles, but they sound phenomenal. So chunky. So yeah, this is doing the thing. Saw Big Wreck live recently. I think Ian's using an Axe 3 now, like for everything, which is pretty awesome. Him and Richie Kotzen are like, they can sing. Like, they've got that Chris Cornell adjacent thing, and then they've got the ridiculous guitar chops. And Ian in particular, Richie's a great songwriter as well, but I think Ian in particular is like a rock writer, far out. He's got an FM9 on stage. Well, there you go. So that's pretty rad. We've got to bring the big boy. Yeah. Oh my God, this kitchen bench of a guitar. What tuning is this in at the moment? It's in drop C. That's fun. That's familiar. So I bought this guitar brand new in 2008 from Jackson's Rare Guitars in Sydney, which I can't talk and tune, which is long gone now. I know why that's out. Duncan 78 in the bridge and a Jazz in the neck. I swapped those out, and I've got the Steinberger, the things that they put on Firebirds now. Listen to that thing. It is a big board. There you go. Frost Motion bought a Violin Top LP there. That's kind of cool. They used to have, they had this. So this was in 2008. I think I paid a little over $2,000 Australian for this guitar, like highway robbery. But they had a Corinna Les Paul Junior style guitar as well for like $1,800. Kind of regret not buying that at the time as well, because it was just crazy. Is it hard to not let your channel turn into a constant paid infomercial like some of the other pedal promoting channels? Yes. I hope I strike some kind of balance in there, so it's not super annoying. What's going on here? Oh, that's the neck pickup volume. That's the bridge pickup volume. There we go. Now we're turned down. Yeah, really difficult because, like, promoting pedals makes money, and it's part of everyone's advertising budget now. It's just it. Like, companies don't use magazines anymore. They use people like me, and they send us stuff, and it's financially viable. So of course I want to review all the cool stuff. If Strymon puts out a pedal, I want to do a video about it, and I want people to watch my video about it because I'm excited about it and it sounds good. Anyone who tells you they're not super self-interested doing YouTube is just not self-aware enough, because you have to be super self-interested to want to put yourself out on the internet. But yeah, my whole thing has been, what would I want to watch on the internet? And not necessarily I want to watch myself, but like, I like lots of different things. I like pedals and amps. I like guitars. I like old rack gear. I like weird sounds. I like straight ahead sounds. I like blues. I like prog. I like really heavy metal. I like rock and roll. It's, part of the thing is, for me, is if I'm not demoing something, people are going to ask me about it. They're like, oh, hey, can you do a demo with that thing? So it's in my self-interest to do it as well, because I want the people who watch my channel to also want to watch things they want to watch. That sounded as new age as I look, but if Friedman puts out a new pedal or something, I get a load of comments like, hey, when are you going to demo that thing? So yeah, it's tricky, and often I will go out and buy stuff just to demo it on the channel and flip it because people want to watch it. So speaking of amazing channels you should subscribe to, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Kayla's channel. What in the F are you playing through? But it sounds incredible. Kayla, I'm playing through the Axe effects, and I'll show you exactly the signal chain for anyone who missed it earlier. Let's do this. Good old StreamYard. So it's the 5153 Stealth amp. And I mean, I have two slight variations on it. One is like less gain, one is more gain and more mids. I'm using my free IR that everyone can get hopefully in the video description if this uploaded correctly, and a little bit of reverb, and I'm doing the 80s thing, right? So that's the amp and cab. But then you put the big pitch detune on it, and it does this. That kind of thing. The IR is based off, so I have a Marshall Tall Vintage cabinet. It's a slant, it's got 25 watt greenbacks in it. And the mics are a Shure SM7B, a Royer 121, and a Sennheiser MD421. And yeah, it was a really, really happy accident on there. Did some test shots on the cab, thought it sounded good, did some mixes and shared it, and people are into it. I saw someone describe it as like the Fractal backline cab because so many people use it, which is humbling, if I'm honest, because it was a happy mistake. So yeah, and people go and subscribe. Kayla's stuff's fantastic, and some of the sounds, and yeah, please, Kayla, go and grab the IR and see if it works for you. I'd love to hear what you do with it. Send her some love in the comment section below, because yeah, the chorus sound as well, you know, it is 100%. Now, how good does this neck pickup sound? Darn it, Zach, why are you so good? Yeah, this is 100% muscle memory. I told a story before. I'm going to just grab a different guitar quickly so that I can try to play that part slightly less bad. That sentence makes sense. Let's go back to this old. Old is not old at all. It's the newest thing. I had this tab book for No More Tears, right? So the ending, you know, the lick. Okay, so the way they transcribed the last thing, I don't know if this is actually what Zach played in the studio and he doesn't do it now because it's so insane, was just, so it's going from the sixes to just, which I guess would be sextuplets or something like that, and then so going like that. Then at the squizzer. Like, I can't do that. It just, error 404. And I watched the playthrough he did last year or the year before, and I was like, of course. It's still fours, but he's economy picking. Not that I can play it, so. And obviously he's getting the like extreme downward pick slant going on with the floaty wrist, right? So it's that whole thing. Oh yeah, and it is Miracle Man, isn't it? The just don't bother kids. Yeah, and it's so, I always thought his picking was kind of goofy, but it makes so much sense, right? Because you can do with a loose wrist a, you know, funky thing, and he's kind of doing that but just kind of muting, so that whole thing. Yeah, exactly. So he's doing that, but because he's using a floating wrist, the pick slant is so extreme that he's actually kind of hitting air a lot of the time. So yeah, he's kind of turn. It's, if you watch the videos, you know, he's also brutalizing the vibrato. And the wah, you know, so so yeah, that's my Zach Wild cosplay for the day. Like, hey man, Zach was a handsome man back in those days. He had it going on, the long flowing locks. Absolute peak masculinity for me, anyway. Yeah, that's the, I mean, it's actually in that thing. Same with Tornado of Souls, right? I couldn't play that lick at speed, and then you watch Marty and you're like, oh, maybe I'll just try I really like Desire as well. That's another great Zach thing. Is that it? Am I? old was I when I learnt these solos? I got really average at them. There's a video of me when I'm about 15 or 16. Let me find it. Because you'll all have a good old laugh. I think it was a school assembly or something. I'm like 16. I'm dressed up trying to be Steve Vai. But I'd been doing the Paul Gilbert stuff so much, because what else was I going to do with my time? I could kind of... Like, I'm not that much faster now than I was then, but I feel like I'm infinitely better at the same time. I don't know, maybe that's just illusion. Let's see. Yes, here we go. You're going to have a... The video's called 10,000 Days of Guitar. Let me drag this in. This is great. Yes, I'm so happy I uploaded this. This is why I do these things. What am I going to do? I want to drag it in. Does this work? Can you all see this? Here we go. This lick. Yep. There we go. Hopefully that actually came up. So yeah, they were the high school chops. Fire in the Sky is awesome, my man. Yeah, you know your stuff. It's so good. Yeah, it's such a good example of. I'd love to know how he came up with this, like just the picking angle and things like that. You know, I've actually found there's a couple of Ragdoll songs now that I play differently because I kind of went down the Zach rabbit hole again recently, and I think I figured it out in my mind, like what he does. Yeah, that was me before the testosterone slightly kicked in there. So no hair except the hair on my head, right? You love that PRS lately. How about some Andy Timmons Puppet Show? Oof, I wish I could play that. Andy's touring at the moment, or he's doing some shows. One of my students is off to see him this weekend in the States. So, yeah, it's Zach. It's a whole. You go down it, and it's just so fun. Like Zach and Dimebag and Jakey Lee and George Lynch and Warren DeMartini. You go down these things, and they have so many cool things that they do. You're just like, how did you come up with this? I guess the internet didn't exist, so you had to entertain yourself somehow. Ragdoll song called Playing God, which has this I ripped off Symphony of Destruction basically for the solo. I'll go straight to the solo. It's also my intro music, but the way I played it on the record now, I play it differently. I basically relearnt how to play it so I could be a bit more consistent. Book of Shadows is really good too. Yeah, underrated. Yeah, all these great players, the more of their stuff you learn, the more you're like, wow, this is even more mind-blowing than I expected on there. So I'll play you this thing. Anyway, basically the lick is... So a little run like that. But yeah, I was doing it inside picking. Now I do it with outside picking, and it's so much easier and more consistent. So this... It's not super fast, but if I wanted to... Oh, we got some Night Ranger fans in here. And yeah, Playing God for playing live, it's still just for that riff. It's like, you know, the metalheads in the crowd, when you play that song, they super get into it. So, yeah, I massively appreciate that, mate. That's super, super cool. So, yeah, I'm actually going to split. It's 1:30 here. I need to have some lunch and then head it out later. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in on here and going down this rabbit hole, because they are incredibly fun and you should all do it. And go and subscribe to Kayla's channel. It's amazing. And who else did we talk about? Obviously, Cordy. You got to go and check out his stuff as well. So, all right, everyone. Keep it real. Take it easy. Have a good night or good afternoon wherever you are. And I'll see you all on the next one. I'm looking forward to it.